Well, hey, y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, I'm your hostess, and today is the first video live of the year, of the new year of 2023. We are waving goodbye to 2022, y'all. I am so tired of 2022. Let me tell you, we just had a rotten year. And I'm hoping and praying that this year is going to be a little bit kinder to us. So I want to welcome everybody in. If you're new to my channel, I would ask you to watch at least 3 to 5 minutes of one of my videos, then like and subscribe. And that will secure that you are actually subscribed to me. So hello, Bad Stain. Welcome in, Papa's Kitchen. I'm so glad to see you both. And I really appreciate you being here. We are so excited about 2023. I have got plans in place for the first time in a long time. And we are going to talk about plans for our channels, not just mine, but your channels also for the year, and get some feedback from you about my videos. So I really want to hear some honest opinions about what I'm doing with my videos. If you think I need to continue to, I'm writing down names, y'all, sorry. If I need to continue on the path I'm on, or if I need to change a few things out. I see Triple Threat Firearms and Defense, Tarsha in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. Any of you guys that want to come up on panel, you're more than welcome to. I am looking so forward to talking and chatting with all of y'all out there. Hello, Lashes Journey. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm really excited, y'all. I can't tell you how much I'm excited. Let me get some names written down, and then I'll get back to you in just a second. Hi, Jean. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. Carrie Porter, my happy craft place. Welcome in. I don't think I missed anybody, but if I have, forgive me. I am trying to write down names and keep up with the chat. And Barb, welcome in. I see that you're here. So excited. Well, first off, I am through with that sinus crud, and I couldn't tell you how happy I am that that's gone. Hey, Joy Bless Life, welcome in. Happy New Year. Well, 2022 is behind us. Hey, Jamie, welcome in. Thank you, Jamie, for that. I will be looking for the invitation from Southern Roots by Sherry. I really do appreciate that. I'm writing down my names, y'all, because y'all know that I'm going to go check out your channels. But before I get too far along, I want to tell you that there are at least 2 channels that I know of. Missy's channel, who needs watch hours, and she's got a terrific Bible audio on her channel. If y'all would go over there and watch some of that or all of it, if you're able. She keeps adding to it, so it's kind of hard to keep up. But she's got some wonderful giveaways on her channel. She's doing a bingo game and all kinds of things. So y'all go check out Missy's channel. And also, Vision Preparedness has hit his 1K. Now, it's going to hover for a few days. It may drop below or it may go over. So if you're not subscribed to him already, go subscribe to his channel. He's got a lot of great information out there on how to be prepared for anything that comes your way. and he needs watch hours. So he's got a watch hour list on his channel, and I would appreciate everybody here going over to his channel and doing some watch hour time on his channel. Hello, Candy Dudette. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. So Missy's channel and Vision Preparedness both need the watch hours, and we want to make sure that Trent's channel is secured with that 1K. So if you haven't subscribed already, go over there and do your thing and subscribe. Now, everybody here, don't forget to hit the like button. That helps with algorithms. Of course, your commenting helps with the algorithms. And we are learning so much about YouTube and what YouTube expects of us as a channel contributor. And y'all, I'm reading this book. I've read it before. It's an old book. It's A Woman in Her Home. And I know the guys out there aren't going to be interested in this, but I think I bought this when I was in college, to be honest with you. It was from 1993, and it is the first edition. And this lady is Ella Mae Miller. And she's got a couple of different books out. I'm on the chapter where we're going to be talking about mental health. And she talks a lot about rearing children in this book, which my children are grown, but I have grandchildren. And hey, it never hurts to look over things and know that you're going to help your children and your grandchildren along the way. So I'm a senior, y'all. I'm having senior moments and everything, but this book talks about being effective in your discipline and money, attitude, all kinds of things. And y'all excuse me if I cough because I feel one coming on. Hey, handicapped traveler, welcome in. Welcome in. Get you on my list. And I know I'm going to miss some names today. I am getting over that sinus crud that's been going around. This is hanging on. Hey, Carp, welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. I will have coughing fits. And y'all excuse me if I start crouping. We want to grow our channels. Y'all, sorry. Hang on just a moment. Okay, I think I'm over it. Hey, Deanna, welcome in. Yeah, this sinus crud, it started going into my chest. And y'all, whenever I have a any kind of infection, minor infections become major with me. So it takes me longer to get over because I have autoimmune problems. And I'm also sniffling, so hang on just a moment. Okay, I think I'm through that. Papa's Kitchen, welcome in. I think I called you old school with a modern twist. Welcome in. I have changed some things in my living room. We're stripping down a wall because I'm fixing to move a big armoire out here in my living room. out of my canning room to make room for canning shelves. So that wall has to go away. So I have moved my It Is Well with My Souls and my Hey Y'all and a couple of things behind me. I can actually look at those when I'm sitting in my recliner. So that helps me out mentally to get over some of the clutter going on in my head. So anyway, we are preparing our house for some major renovations coming up. And we're also preparing our house for some videos that we're going to be doing. One of them is going to be, we're going to be changing out some parts on our dishwasher. Y'all, my dishwasher is so old that I have dry rot in my dishwasher. So we have to fix it. Thankfully, we can order parts online. So we won't be putting out a great big expense on a dishwasher. That was something that just we knew was coming, but it hadn't been addressed yet. That's one of those procrastination things that I've been talking about in some of my videos. We have got to fix that. So we've ordered the parts, and so hopefully when the parts come in, I can get my husband and I can get in a position where I can actually show you what he's doing inside that dishwasher. It's going to be exciting to see, and it might help some of y'all out that may be having a problem like that also. Thank God that we can replace parts. And our the guy that we call whenever any appliance in our house goes down, he orders parts all the time, and he told us, he says, don't replace if you don't have to. Fix it. So I really appreciate him telling us that. He's also very reasonable, which is another blessing because it can get extremely expensive when you're trying to repair appliances like your washer, your dryer, your dishwasher, refrigerators and freezers and things like that. So it really has helped us. Well, Deanna, I have on and off in the past had a dishwasher, but the majority of my life I have washed dishes by hand. Hey, Bonnie. Oh, my goodness, Bonnie's in the house, y'all. Hey, Bonnie, I'm so glad that you're here. I have been praying for this lady. She has had a rough winter season, y'all, but I'm so glad that she's back. And I'm waiting for some new videos, Bonnie. So I'm going to write your name down on my list because I'm looking for those new videos to come out. Anyway, I have washed dishes by hand for half a century at least, if not longer. So it is nice to have a dishwasher. Martisa C., welcome in. I think you're new here, so welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here, and Happy New Year. And if I mispronounce your name, forgive me. It is so nice to have new people show up. It really is a blessing. So anyway, we were actually gifted. Well, I can't say we were really gifted, but anyway, my husband went and put in a new dishwasher for a friend of ours. And she didn't have a lot of extra money, and we understood that, and she offered us the old dishwasher. So that's how we received our dishwasher. We didn't pay any money out of pocket. It was gifted to us, and my husband had to do some wiring on it because when they took it out, they cut the wiring a little bit too short, so he had to redo some wiring on it. But it's been a perfectly fine dishwasher, and it's actually saved us a little bit on water and electricity, believe it or not. So we were happy about that. We love you too, Miss Bonnie. I'm so glad that you were here. And we did have a wonderful but quiet holiday season. Now, y'all, my daughter and her family came down with the Cavovo. And so our Christmas is being pushed to February. So we haven't done family Christmas yet. So that's going to be something that's going to be coming up. Oh, my dishwasher screw up. Yeah, my dishwasher for years and years and years has been the left hand and the right hand. And occasionally it would be my children's hands, but I actually took pride in doing dishes. It's one of the things I've seen my mother stand at the kitchen sink many, many days, breakfast, lunch, supper, always had the dishes done right after the meal. And immediately she would dry them and put them away. Now I'm lazy. I don't put them away. But now that I have a dishwasher, I just load and unload the dishwasher. And then whatever doesn't go into a dishwasher or won't fit gets washed by hand. And y'all always see my counter full of dishes drying. I have a lot of dishes that I do throughout the week and throughout the day. So it's a constant thing around here. Jean, I haven't talked to my daughter here lately, but thank you for that. I do appreciate that. We're hoping and praying that they were all okay. It started with a grandson getting Cavovo. The baby had a very mild case of it. And then my foster mother and my daughter both got it. And yeah, we don't put cast iron in there either. Yeah. So we're praying for them to all get better. And I cannot for the life of me remember the young man that's a football player that passed out on the field the other day, but he's in our thoughts and prayers too. And from what I understand, he had a vaccine booster in December. So we don't know if it was caused from that or something else going on with him. But he's in our prayers too. I think his last name's Hamlin. We saw that and immediately we went to praying because he's such a young man. Yeah, all my friends have Cavovo and I'm avoiding everyone but my daughter. I understand that, Bonnie. We have, hey, Cricket Braden, welcome in, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. So anyway, that's all the really personal things that's going on with my family. But we are looking at so many things around our homestead that needs to get done that was pushed back because of 2022. We couldn't get to a lot of things because of illness. And then we had the drought and the really hot summer and just all kinds of things interfered with our plans. So this year we're going to play catch up. We're hoping we get caught up, but I doubt it. I'm thinking 2 to 3 years out, we might be caught up by then. But my husband is notorious for starting projects and then stopping and not getting it completed. So I'm sitting in a living room that is actually almost completed. We still need new flooring in here. And we need baseboards put up. But when we moved into this double wide mobile home, it had just a subfloor. And it had holes in the walls. It was a repo. It had one cabinet in the kitchen, and it was a sink cabinet. And then it had a corner cabinet. And that was all the cabinets that was in our kitchen. He has replaced every cabinet in there on the walls. We bought lower cabinets. My island right now are dressers. And I plan on keeping the dressers in there, but I do want to paint them and put a butcher block on them. So that's some of the things that I want to get done. We need a backsplash. Y'all see my backsplash behind my stove every time I do a video. It's hideous looking. I have to see it. Y'all have to see it. It never got done. Bonnie says, I can't stay long. I have a mountain of blueberry pancakes to make for church dinner tonight. Well, you go make those things, girl, and then enjoy them. I love blueberries. I can't eat them. I'm allergic to them. But enjoy them. And it sounds like something fun to do. Cricket says, you have one of them hubbies too. Gotta love them. That's true. I do love my husband. I love him very much. He does a lot of stuff. He works a full-time job. He works overtime sometimes. And so when he gets home, it's kind of hard to get motivated to do anything. And he's trying to clear his head from all the days of activities and everything else. And we have chickens to take care of, ducks to take care of, turkeys to take care of. So he's always busy. And when he finally sits down, he crashes. So that's been our life for the last year. And I'm thankful that he's got a job. There's so many people out of work, so many people that don't want to work. So I'm thankful that he's working outside the home. So all these projects get pushed back. But he completed our living room. He did the ceiling in here. He did all our walls. And it insulated this part of the mobile home so much more. And it actually strengthened the walls because, y'all, these walls are not very thick on mobile homes. And they use the cheapest materials they can get their hands on when they build these things. And this one is, I think it's from the 1980s. It might be a 1990 model. I'm not sure, but it's fairly old. And it's actually gone past its usefulness date, according to, if I want it to resell. But mobile homes have had an uptick because of the recession. The prices are stabilizing, and actually we're getting more money for mobile homes now than we would have 20 years ago. We did buy this as a repo. I think we paid $18,000 or something like that for this mobile home, and it was on a 1.5 acre lot. It's a 3-bedroom. Now, the master bedroom is a decent size. The 2 small bedrooms are small bedrooms. They're about 8 by 10, give or take a little bit. And this is actually a 2-bath mobile home, 2 full baths. So that was a bonus. To get to things that we're wanting to do, we have flooring, a major flooring issue. I've talked about this in the past between our living room and dining room area. We had a water leak last year we didn't know about. Well, he fixed the water leak in the laundry room. We had to replace the flooring in the laundry room. We got the subfloor down. We never got the floor down. So that's an issue, So these are projects that are partially done. And we're seriously contemplating putting down a paint that will act as flooring in that room, because the fact that it has all that plumbing underneath the flooring. We don't want to lay down some good flooring and then turn around and have to tear it all up because we've had another water leak. So when we do hire somebody in this year, we're going to get all the plumbing underneath our house repiped, all the joints and everything redone, because this trailer is going on, if it was 90, it's going on 30 to 40 years old, somewhere in there. So all that plumbing needs to be redone anyway. So all of that underneath the house has to be done. Yes, handicap Traveler, it's a good size mobile home. This is a 24 by 24 by 50, I believe, or 23 by 50. So it's a good size mobile home. It looks like a small house when you look at it from the road, which is about what it is. I would say it's an equivalent to a 2-bedroom with big bedrooms. If you had a 2-bedroom house with big bedrooms, that's what it would be equivalent to. Hey, Wellness with Miami, I appreciate you coming in. Hey, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt. Get all these names written down so I don't forget. We did an addition on the back of the house. We have a small enclosed porch that has a handicap ramp on it. The handicap ramp has to be redone. It's been up for several years now, and we never got around to painting it or putting that sealer on it, so that didn't get done. And so that's another issue. And I want to take out sliding glass doors that's on our mobile home that goes out to that porch, and just making it more spacious in here. So that's another issue. So we got to figure out how to rebuild that framework or put a door in or whatever we're going to do. And we need to replace doors and windows. Everything on the outside basically needs to be redone. Cricket, I am originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and I have lived in upstate New York for 14 years, and I came home to Memphis and lived there a few more years before I moved to the little town of Pinson, Tennessee, which is just south of Jackson, Tennessee. Carp has a new Facebook page. Woohoo! I don't do Facebook anymore. Bonnie said, born in Chicago and living in South Carolina. Well, we'll forgive the Chicago part. I just love Miss Bonnie, y'all. She is just the sweetest thing. Deanna, I'm going to go down tomorrow and get my package. I went yesterday, but the post office was closed, so I couldn't grab the package. But I know it's there. I'm really excited that we are going to be able to do a few things around the house this year. But the major thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find a new vehicle. I talked about this recently in a video. We have about 387,000 miles on our truck. And the mechanic says the truck has given you all it's going to give you, and it's just a matter of time. And it's back in the shop. So all last year, it was in and out of the shop, in and out of the shop. And thank God for our friends at church that loaned us a vehicle all the many times that we've had to borrow one, because we couldn't afford to pay for a rental car. So that's on our to-do list also. We have to find a vehicle. I see that Rudy has come in. Rudy Arahita has come in. So welcome in, welcome in. I'm glad you're here, Rudy. And Cricket says, small town outside of Toledo. So you're up in Ohio. I got to back up a little bit. Are you now in Lake City, Tennessee? And Papa's Kitchen said he was raised in Texas, 60 years worth, and now lives in Arlington. And Jean said, we bought a house bought in the 1950s. No matter the size of the project, large or small, I am always grateful when something gets done. Patience. That's one thing we have learned, is to have patience, because for 9 years now we have been working on this house, trying to make it livable. We had holes in the floor. We had holes in the walls. We had to patch. And all of that got done in the first couple of months that we were here. And we got paint. We slapped paint on the walls, and we rolled out linoleum. It was the cheapest way to go at the time, and it got flooring down. So that's what we have in our house now. I am not a fan of linoleum, the vinyl linoleum. I'm just not. This was supposed to be puncture proof and tear proof. I've got a huge tear in my linoleum that I had to tape. It was the only thing I could do, is tape it. So things like that are things that I'm looking at that we're going to have to fix. Oh, Cricket says she lives in Ohio now. Papa says he's in and out listening. And Jean is in Northwest Wisconsin. I've never been to the state of Wisconsin. I've never been to Ohio. I have touched North Carolina and South Carolina going up towards New York. Not really going into the state, but I could see it across the way. Joy's pulling meat off the chicken bones and listening. Yeah, afraid all flooring in this house has to be replaced. Candy Dudette, I totally understand that. Thank you, Wellness from Miami, coming in. I really do appreciate you coming in. And Cricket, you're in Toledo or just outside of Toledo? And Joy Blessed Life is from Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area of the Smoky Mountains. One of my favorite places to go if I ever get there. Deanna was born in Springfield, Ohio, raised in Del Rio, Texas, and back in the West Union, Ohio for 35 years. Isn't it something how we always seem to want to gravitate back to our birthplace or the birth state? And we looked at, we were thinking about Arkansas. Well, before we bought this property, we were actually wanting to go more Middle Tennessee than where we're at now. Yeah, Candy Dudette, I understand the uneven floors in places, but it's even worse in a mobile home because you sink. They use that press board stuff. It's not OSB. It's one of the press boards, and it's not really great to have as a flooring. Hey, Nathaniel Townsend, welcome in. So glad that you're here. Anybody that wants to come up on the chat, I have it linked at the top, but I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for you. And maybe you can come up and visit with me and talk a little bit. Yeah, the happy place for Joy is the Smokies. She was born in Indiana. I lived in upstate New York, which was up in the Catskill Mountains for 14 years, and it was beautiful country. But the blizzards and the snow and the shoveling, and you get your driveway shoveled out, and here comes the plow, and they plow you back in. Well, that was the end for me. And my daughter, one of my daughters put on my coat that I wore to work, and I had taken my good rings off and put it in my coat pocket and to put the gloves on. And she took my coat, unbeknownst to me, and went outside and was playing in the snow and lost my good rings. We never did find those rings. Have no clue where they are at. Somebody probably has found them by now. That was some 20-something years ago. And Nathaniel's going to come up and visit. And Nathaniel, I need you to be on your good behavior, buddy. Hey, Nathaniel. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is the first time you've been on here.
Hello. How are
You're a
you?
young man. You are
Thanks.
very young. I'm an old lady.
It's nice
I
to
can't
meet you,
help it.
okay?
It's nice to meet you too. So
Yeah,
tell
please
me a
don't
little bit
cry.
about your channel.
You said what?
Tell me a little bit about your channel.
My channel is Nathaniel Townsend. Please don't cry because I'm the famous guy in the world because a lot of people makes me happy. Please don't cry, okay? Be honest.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm going to have to go over and check out your channel some more. It's Tarsha's down in the chat saying it's so nice to see your face.
Yeah, got my pretty face. The people call me cute, and yeah.
Yeah. You kind of remind me of my grandson. I've got one grandson named Hunter, and he is just the sweetest guy in the world. And you just kind of remind me of that with that smile.
So how is your son doing?
I have daughters. I don't have sons. I have son-in-laws.
Oh,
My daughter is doing okay. They've got her on antivirals, and she'll be on that for a month to get through this Cavovo.
how long you been taking with your kids?
I'm sorry.
How long you been taking care with your kids, like your daughter, your sons?
My oldest daughter just turned 40.
Ooh, wow, 40 years
Yeah.
old. How when is your daughter's birthday? Like a January or a February
No,
or
it was December.
oh
It was, yeah, I had a Christmas baby. She was born just before Christmas, my first
yeah,
daughter. And my second daughter was born in August. And
August 2nd?
no, I'm not going to tell you the date, but she was, they're totally opposites in personality. It's the neatest
Yeah,
thing in the world. One is very artistic and can draw and do all kinds of things, and the other one sings.
yeah. I know your daughter can draw, but they can sing what they want to do. They could do the Bruno Mars voice or the girl voice they want to do. Not a boy's voice. It's only for boys. It's only for girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm,
And they're both mamas. Both of them have 2 children. And
exactly. But yeah. I
yeah.
really, I really love people. Well, I tell a lot of people when I was to stream all day because they love me because I always have a special heart, and I have my world now because I love kids, I love people, I love Chinese people, I love everybody so much because I just love everybody more and more and more and more. At the end of the day, I was crying for yesterday because I was having a problem myself. I was
You were
crying
you were crying.
yesterday to go
You
because
want
I
to tell
miss
us
me.
what's going on a little bit?
Yeah, but I was happy because I was about to make me tears already. I said I had to stay strong. I had to stay safe with my friends, my family, my people, everything. I pray to God all day. I really love the Indiana city, the whole world for my life, and I really love enjoy this, man, because you were always watching me the whole time, and your daughter's proud of you, and they grow so fast, like 30 years ago, and you make everything, man. You did it so well. Your mom's proud of you. Your dad's proud of you. Everybody's proud of you because of you, and you will always be your proud. And for the last things to go, and you've been studying, you work hard, got smart, you got a little bit, not too much energy, the little bit energy, It has like the yellow energy, the red energy, the green energy. Like you get excited, that's what you want to do, ma'am. So, ma'am, what I'm trying to say was you always take care with your daughters every single years. Your daughter, your daughter's so beautiful when you take care with your hospital when you hold and you call mama or whatever that is before, and when they grow up, they I told your daughters are proud of you. They've been working hard for every school, every college, every years for the last 4 years. And 4 years later, they do very well for every graduation for your daughters, ma'am. However, because that makes me happy. I've been working hard at every school because I've been studying and I work everything so well. So that's because of you. What do you say?
Well, I appreciate you very much for coming up, Nathaniel. I'm going to drop you off now, and I'm going to allow somebody else to come up. But thank you for coming up. Thank you so
You too.
much. God
You too,
bless
ma'am.
you.
I will see you again, ma'am.
Well, Tarsha, would you like to come up and visit, or Cricket, or let's see who else is here? I know Miss Bonnie was here, but she's busy. Yeah, Deanna won't come up. How about Joy? If Joy's here, one of y'all come on up and talk to me for a little bit. Or Cart. I appreciate y'all coming up. Oh, you're not cute today, Tarsha. I'm not cute any day. Thank you for coming in, Candy. I appreciate you very much. Y'all, we try to be polite to everybody, and sometimes we get somebody that is a little bit confusing, and I could tell that he was definitely confused about a few things, but I do appreciate at least he tried. So we're going to just pray for Nathaniel and hope that everything goes good for his life. He looks very, very young. In my opinion, he was very, very young. But he did show his face and he was willing to talk. So he was going to be clicked off if he did anything out of line. Anyway, back to our talk. So we've got a half-built chicken run out there that we're going to try to do. Carb says he's going to try. His mic is blocked and cannot figure it out. I can't help you with that one, buddy, because I don't know much about my computer. All I do is turn it on and go. Yeah, handicapped traveler, he was young for sure. And if he's out there listening, I really do appreciate you thinking about me. I think you're a little bit confused about who I am and who my children are. But I appreciate you coming up and talking to me anyway. We are moving our channel forward. You're going to see a lot of changes in me personally. I am doing, I'm really focusing on myself this year more than I have in the past. In the past, it's always been about family, friends, and home life. And I need some me time. I need to reflect on me and get some of this crapola that's rolling around in my brain out of me. And I think all the anxiety for the last 3 years or 2 years has just kind of caught up with me. And I noticed when I got sick, just how much stuff was rolling around in my head, all bad old memories and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, today I woke up with a memory. Wasn't really a memory, but it was something from my past. And I said, Lord, I don't know if you're wanting me to pray for this person or this person, but I'm going to pray for both of them. Normally when I dream about someone, it's usually because God's trying to get my attention to pray for them. So that's what I did this morning. I got up and I prayed. I also got up and did chair exercises, y'all. I do walk with a cane. I have balance issues that you're not seeing so much on camera, but I am doing that. And so I'm trying to regain some balance issues. And I see Warm Strong Adventures in the house. Welcome in, my friend. I'm so glad that you're here. He hit 300 buses the other day. I think it was 300, wasn't it, Warm Strong? And y'all, they do wonderful adventures. You need to go over and check their channel out. And just go like and subscribe to them. They have a wonderful channel. We want to build their community up and help them along the way. Cricket, yes. Sometimes you just need to take care of yourself first, or you can be no good to anyone. That's exactly the truth. And, you know, for years, I always had to take care of somebody. It was my children when my children were growing up. And then when I got married, it was my in-laws. We took care of them. We had relatives move in and out on us when we were down in Memphis, and took care of family. And we always was there to take care of family. They knew that we were a stability point for them. So when we moved up here, we haven't had that, but I'm always looking out for somebody else, and I need to take time to look out for myself too. And part of being healthy is to do the inventory on yourself. Hey, Good Times with Jen and Steve. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Thank you very much. I got to write down a couple of names. And Good Times. Yeah, and so I have never really been able, since I have been an adult, to concentrate on my mental and physical health. So over the last 5 or so years, I have been on a weight loss journey. It started with me having a full hysterectomy. When I had that hysterectomy, it really dawned on me that I had not been taking good care of my body like I should. And our body is the temple of the Lord. And so I had to start focusing on that and really taking self-inventory over food, what I was eating, when I was eating, and how I was eating. So that was one issue. One of the issues was the American diet is a high carb diet. You go to the store and they bombard you with carbs everywhere. And our bodies were not made for all of that. If we went back to a clean eating lifestyle, we wouldn't have pasta and things like that. We would still have rice and potatoes, but it would be a little bit different than what we're doing now. And I see I've got someone in my basement. Hello, Handicap Traveler. Welcome in.
And you can call me Dan. That's my
hi, Dan.
actual name.
How are you doing?
I left that on because it was showing my last name, and I didn't want my last name up. I'm still a little leery of the computer stuff.
Yeah, well, you got every right to be. Yeah, stress eating was part of it, Cricket. I did go through some stress eating. And I have never been one that overate. Let me put that out there. I had never been one that would overeat. And I didn't eat a lot of junk food until I met my husband, because he brings all the junk food in. But I gained weight, and my weight was just piling on, and I was exercising, and I was running everywhere and doing everything, and I was still gaining weight. So I had to figure it out. And part of it's the diabetes, part of it's the metabolism, and all the fun things that go with that. So we're going to talk to Dan for a few minutes. I'm going to switch gears. So Dan, you want to tell us about your channel?
Well, my channel, we go for walks, and hopefully we can get things where we'll do a little more traveling. But it's mostly my wife and I walking, and I always say at the end of my things, whether you have to use wheelchairs, walkers, rollators, that you're not handicapped, you're handicapable. So, and when you started talking, I was like, okay, I want to get up and encourage you. And yes, you need to focus. And I know how much the Lord means to you. And there's, I don't know if you know Philippians 4, it starts verse 4 through 7. And it's something that both my wife and I just really have to, we delve into it, and for years now. It's that rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your greatness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God will transcend all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus.
Amen and amen.
You know, and you were saying about the stuff going around in your head, and my pastor and my wife at one point a couple years ago pushed me to actually go to a counselor because I had so much in my head that I was ready to end it. Which,
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, and you know, I thank the Lord that my wife and I are believing Jesus is Lord, and our pastor was like, Dan, and he was like, you know, I have some counseling skills, but I really want you to go, and it helped. And I'm not saying that's what you need, but that verse is something that really has helped. And because I have balance issues, I use a rollator. Now, if I know, like, if we go to a zoo or something, I'm in a wheelchair.
Right. I
But
try to walk. Now, we went to the zoo with my daughter and my grandson not too long ago, and I do try to walk as much as I can. It got to a point where we hopped on one of those little ride things to get back because I couldn't, my body just wouldn't let me go any further. But we use what we have to use when we have to use it. And that's something that the disability office doesn't understand. They want you to be completely 100% disabled before they do anything to help you. And
yeah,
one of my personal goals is to get off of that system completely. That's one of the reasons I'm doing the YouTube channel, is so that I can have a little bit of an income as a cushion. I'm not expecting it to be a major income, but I would like a little bit of an income so I can tell them, well, I've got a job now and I am doing better, because I am physically doing better. If y'all had seen me in 2013 compared to now, you would not recognize me. I literally had brain fog. I couldn't focus on anything. I could hardly hold my head up. I was in constant pain all the time. And I have worked through a lot of issues already. And a lot of people are talking and giving a lot of good information down in our chat. So I really appreciate you guys. I am going slow, Jamie. I do what I can as long as I can. And Handicapped Traveler understands a lot of what I'm going through, I think, because you're right there where I was at. I literally had, y'all, I have a lifestyle that I will pull myself up by the bootstraps and I will carry on no matter what happens. That's just ingrained in me. Getting outside and fresh air is essential. Cricket says, I'm 61 and fighting for disability because of a lot of health issues. Yeah, and they will make you fight. I fought for 5 years before I got my disability.
Yeah, we went without an income. Well, I went without income for 3 years because the doctor wouldn't let me work. And I even said to him, well, what if I go back part-time? And he's like, if it was someone else, Dan, I would let them do it. He goes, I was a traveling occupational therapy assistant. And he goes, I know you, though. And you'll be like, oh, my patient needs this. I'll just do a little bit more. And he goes, your part-time will be 40 hours. He goes, because your 40 hours is 70 hours now.
Right.
So he was
See,
like,
that was my work history. I always worked 60 to 80 hours a week, y'all. And even when I was at home, it was from the time I got up to the time I dropped in bed. And then all of a sudden I couldn't do that anymore. I mean, I literally had a life experience that almost took me out. So I've had to rebuild. At one point I had, they thought I had MS. I didn't have MS, but I had lost use of my left side of my body. They thought I had a stroke. There was no signs of a stroke. Could not figure it out. I had lost muscle mass all on my left side. I had to learn to re-walk and how to do things with my left side, and I'm still weaker on that side. So yes, and stress is one of the things that probably put me there.
Yeah, it sounds very similar because, and even though we kind of know I have Parkinson's because my grandmother died of it, my dad died of it, but nobody had it until they died of it. And they're telling me, well, you have symptoms, but we can't diagnose you with it. And I'm like, that's fine, because I know you're not going to say it until I have passed. But, both have lived to they lived to a grand old age. So I'm like, I'm going to be around and I'm going to keep pushing. And that's kind of what my channel is about and I've had people say, you know what, you have encouraged us. I see you out there with your walker walking through on these dirt paths and what have you at the parks. And they're like, oh, hey, if he can do it. And they're like, and when you need to stop, you sit down on your rollator and you take a break.
And that's it exactly.
That's what you got to do.
But you push through it, and that's that's something that the doctors are telling you. Oh, you don't need to do that. You just need to sit in your recliner and enjoy your old age. Well, I don't feel old. Well, some days I do. Now, some days I feel like I'm 85 or 90, but most of the time I don't feel old, and I want to do things, and I have so many ideas running through my head. And then there's other days that I'm like, I can't think think past my eyeballs, But we all go through that, and you're like me, that you push through it, and you're out there doing, and you're out there showing people it can be done. And we all need that. We all need to know that, it doesn't matter what your disability is, there's something that you can do that will benefit your life. I see it all the time. I look at people that have lost arms and limbs, and I'm thinking, Lord, I still have my legs. I still have my feet. I still have my arms. Thank you, Lord. Or someone that is blind and can't see, but yet they can draw. They can do artwork. They can do all kinds of things. And, if they can do it, I can do it. And it's like the little boy that we knew many years ago. He was 3 years old and he kept passing out. His mother kept taking him to Le Bonheur and they kept sending him home. They couldn't figure it out. And I told her, I said, passing out at that young age kind of sounds like diabetes type 1. I have a cousin that has that. I said, make them do some blood work. So she went back the next time it happened, and they did blood work, and they sent him straight across the street from Le Bonheur Hospital to St. Jude. he had leukemia. And if it hadn't been for me speaking up and saying, it sounds kind of like this, make them do blood work. And that little boy is still living. He's thriving. And thank God for St. Jude doing what they do. But, when you come from a point where you're disabled and you're not able to do certain things, but you can do other things and you can tell people about it and show them how to do it, that's where you become extremely important to this community. And I really do appreciate, you getting out there and doing what you do. You do it in such a nice way, and I do appreciate that.
And I try. I think part of it is the same as why people find you so inspirational, that we let the Lord work through us too.
Yeah. And we have to remember too, Cricket's, talking about Social Security. Social Security is not going to cure us. They want to keep us in poverty. That's my experience with Social Security. It is God that provides for us. And I know it's hard because we pay into the system, the Social Security, which is a social security. If you get my drift, it's socialized.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to control us through that. And that's been my experience too, because I'm on SSI. I'm going to put it out there. I'm on SSI. I told them a year ago I wanted off of it. They have not taken me off yet because we are in a recession now. But the reason I wanted off was my husband went back to work. He had been home taking care of me. I mean, I literally was not able to take care of myself, dress myself, do a lot of things for myself. And I'm able to do those now so that he's able to go back to work. And Social Security is not wanting to let me go. So when I become monetized, I will be able to say, I have an income now. You need to remove me. Let somebody else have that spot. I don't expect that money to be there much longer anyway, because the way Congress keeps digging into that. And y'all, don't get me going on Social Security and how it got to the point that it's at, but it's not solvent.
Yeah. Well, that somebody said to me that they're like, I'm so glad we're getting this raise. And I'm like, you know what? I would rather them not give me this raise and get a hold of the freaking inflation. And
Exactly. Stop sending it overseas. Pay off our debt here.
Because it's not going to be there that much longer. And I'm like, stop sending. And yeah, I'm on it also. And that's because my wife also is disabled. So,
I want to say, I'm going to stop you for just a moment. I want to say hi to Christy Baum. Welcome in. This is your first time here. I have read what you have written, and I do appreciate you coming in. She said her mother had polio. We understand that was hard. That was a hardship. Thank you for coming in. You can go back to talking handicap, Dan.
We can't get off of it, because then we wouldn't have any income at all. So,
well, I don't blame anybody that is on it. If that's helping to sustain you, that's what it's there for. And, I lived on it before I got it. We lived off of $350 a month. Can you imagine? Hey, Moonlight Adventures, come welcome in. Welcome in. And literally $350 barely pays a utility bill, let alone put groceries in the house, gas in the car, and any medical expenses you might have. And I was sick. We went from a full two-person household income. I lost my income, so we were living off half of that. Then my husband lost his income when the cash for clunkers happened, because he dealt with auto parts, and they got rid of all the old vehicles, so the auto parts business went down under. And yeah, we lived off $350 a month, and that was all we had. And literally, I can tell you that God provides for you during those times, because I've seen it happen. My husband went out and started scrapping. He would go pick up cardboard, anything that he could, and he put food on the table and bought Christmas every year that we were without, while he was looking for a job. Carp, I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, you have to wait a year between running the playlist. I don't know why they do that, but wait a year, or just hit on all the videos you miss. Either way, it will work for me. I appreciate anybody that will run a playlist for me. We are working on 800 buses at this point. It goes up to $7.95, and then it'll go back down to $7.92. YouTube is playing with their algorithms. They're doing their little game that they play. So, y'all, if you would, share me out when you can. I try to share everybody out when I see a video that I like. I put it out there, because I think somebody on my friends list will have never seen you and will go over and subscribe to you. So that's my game plan.
It's exciting. I've actually seen comments at times where I've done shout outs, and they write, handicapped traveler sent me over here, and they subscribed to jumped on that person's bus. And, it makes you feel good then.
Yeah. And we have made wonderful friends through YouTube. We really have. And I include you in that, because we have made some wonderful, wonderful friends here. And Christy, I'm not going to give you sympathy, honey, but I do think that is amazing. The story that you're telling is amazing. We had a pastor down in Memphis. It was Dr. Leo Crawford. He's a great theologian, had polio as a child. This man, you couldn't hold him down. He walked with a limp. He had the polio. He ended up bedridden before his death, but he had so much knowledge, and he would share all of that knowledge with everybody else. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. If he told you could do something, you better go do it, because he believed, that God was going to push people to do what they needed to do to get things done. And so he was instrumental with a lot of things. I learned a lot from him just sitting under him for a while. And I even told his wife had kind of adopted my husband's cousin. My husband's cousin went to work for them at the church. He was an alcoholic and drug addict. He got saved in that church, y'all. He started bringing people to church, and people were being saved left and right through him. David died at the hands of his new wife, his new bride. She stabbed him to death in the front yard of their home. But before he died, he had Jesus, and he was telling everybody about Jesus. So you don't know how your life's going to affect somebody else. And I still think about David all the time. I think about what he came out of and how God changed him. But it was through the love that the Crawfords had shown him that he was able to be saved and know Jesus. Because I sat in my living room one day and I said, David, you're 40 years old. You've never been married. You've never done anything with your life. You rent a room. You go and you do your drugs and your alcohol. What do you plan to do for the rest of your life? Because you're not going to be able to live like that forever. So that was, things that I put in his head. I asked him, I said, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? And when he left my house that day, he walked to that church. And I thank God that maybe God put the words in my mouth to tell him. But I also thank God that those people there took him as he was and loved him. And they loved him like a son. And that is a blessing. So he knew love before he died. He knew true love.
I'm going to hop down. We got a storm going and I hear some weird noises outside. I want to make sure that our roof isn't blowing off or anything.
Okay. Well, Dan, you take care and we'll pray that you'll be safe. Thank you for coming up.
Thanks. No problem. God bless.
God bless. Well, y'all, that was awesome. I love when we can talk about God and know that he is with us. Hello, 6 Acres Farm. Welcome in. Welcome in. And if I missed anybody else while I was talking, please forgive me. I do appreciate everybody being here. And I wasn't planning on going over an hour, but I think I'm going to go for another few minutes and then we're going to close this down. Getting back to things that we're going to be doing on our channel. Of course, I'm going to continue to stockpile my pantry, and I'm going to continue to do the videos on how to do the canning and different things like that. Matter of fact, I got a couple of videos coming out Thursday and Friday. I think that y'all will really appreciate. This is a non-canning video that's coming out. Both of them are non-canning videos, but it is prep for your kitchen or for your pantry, and I think you'll really like those. You're going to see me talking here and there about different things that I'm dealing with personally in my life, and I'm looking forward to getting past these issues that are messing with my head. And I am still on that weight loss journey. Y'all, back in January of last year, when I had the Cavovo, at that point, I had lost about 30 pounds during that time in the hospital. And when I came home, my clothes were just hanging on me. And I gained a few of those pounds back, but I'm staying pretty much at the same level. I fluctuate about 5 pounds, which is normal for most people. And, but I'm wanting to get more weight off. And I have gone down dress sizes, and I'm thrilled about that because that means new clothes in the wardrobe. But anyway, I'm going to continue the weight loss journey. And I'm going to talk about things that I'm doing and things that I have tried that have worked and things that I've tried that have failed. And I'm going to try to talk about, a healthier living, a lifestyle for myself and for anybody else that's out there struggling with their weight. I can tell you that it comes off. It can come off. It's better that it comes off slowly. And I'm 5 years into it, y'all. I had lost 40 pounds over a 5-year period. And then I lost that 30 pounds all at once. So that tells you something about being sick. Anyway, we are going to be looking for a vehicle. And that's going to be a major expense. Because we want to be able to pay cash if we possibly can for whatever we get. And I'm praying for low mileage, but a decent running vehicle. We need a truck. We need a truck that's a 4-seater if we can get it, because we do have 2 dogs that we have to carry to the vet and so forth. And we need a truck because we have to pick up hay and feed for the animals. So that's the main thing. We'd like to get a second vehicle for me, something really cheap that gets me from point A to point B. So y'all be praying about those things. God is in everything that we do. I don't do anything without asking God to show us how to do this. I'm going to be talking about finances from time to time. I want to encourage everybody to put a little bit of something back because we don't know what tomorrow holds. I'm hearing through the grapevine that eggs are going to be $10 a dozen in the store by the end of this year, and possibly gas going back up to $7 a gallon or more. So those are things that I'm looking at. So financially, we need to be prepared for anything that might come our way. And just getting things in order. That's going to be my biggest hurdle to do, is to get my house back in order. Because like I said at the beginning of this, my husband will go into a room, he'll start doing construction work on it, and then he will stop. And everything in that room gets shuffled to another room. And I have to maneuver around things and, just all kinds of things like that. So I want my house in order. I want to be able to go into a room and find what I'm looking for without having to search. And that will help me with all the other clutter issues that I'm dealing with personally. It's not having the clutter in my house. And I've started, in my living room. I've still got canning jars on the other side of the room stacked in front of our front door. And I told my husband, I said, I need to get them out to our storage unit and be able to go out there and get what I need and bring them in the house instead of having them sitting here taking up space. So he worked on our storage containers over the weekend. And yeah, kids and I are decluttering the basement now. Yeah, we got a lot of clutter. We have become a throwaway society. And we buy stuff on a whim, and then we have nowhere to put it. And I'm bad about, even in thrift stores, I buy stuff and have nowhere to put it. But I'm trying to buy stuff, and I am really focusing more and more on things that I need and not things that I want. And I'm going to be going through one room at a time in my house, and I'm going to be donating a lot of things. And my husband is calling y'all, so I'm going to cut this short. Thank you for watching, everybody.